Hello and welcome to the 3-minute guide to synth sounds. Today I will talk about why I think that the Prophet 5 rev4 is the best analog polysynth ever, to my ears at least. Well, firstly, it is very easy on the eyes and it's easy on the mind, meaning that this interface, this sort of layout, and also visually, it is basically very calming on the senses. It's a very sort of quiet front panel. There's not a lot of different colors going on here. We have, of course, these red, quite subdued LEDs, but we don't have any displays of any kind. We don't have any multicolored sort of buttons or knobs. And for me, is it possible for me to focus on the music, on the keys? I'm not just getting distracted by the front panel in any way. Also, I would say that if we go to the sound department, the Prophet 5, like the early ones, the rev2 SSM one that I had, but also this one certainly are sort of natural drifters, if you will. These SEM oscillator chips, they are still quite unstable even in this incarnation. We can illustrate that by going to a very simple patch here, and we put the synth into vintage mode rev4, which means there's no extra sort of randomization added. For each keystroke, you will have a slightly different frequency. And if we set the vintage mode to 1, then you'll have even more variation. And we basically have zero beating here. We can add some more. We don't have zero beating, but well, it's not as much as when you have more detuning here. It is pretty damn fat, isn't it? Let's go to just PWM, basically. Very warm, I think. We have two different filter chips in the synth. We have the SSM 2040, or the new version of it, and we have the CEM, the SEM 3320. And the difference between these can be illustrated by, we can, for instance, take this sound here, which is a pad sound using the rev12 SSM filter. So what if we change to the SEM filter, the rev3 filter? There's a slight difference there. Let's go to what the SEM filter is best known for, which is sort of the bass response. So let's go to this sound here. And if we select the other filter, as you notice, there is a difference in cutoff frequency, but also the envelope behaves slightly different. Okay, so the next thing I want to illustrate is basically Polymode. I will go to a bank here where I have some Polymode type sounds. Here now we are modulating both the filter and the frequency A from oscillator B. Some more sounds. These sounds they don't really sound like a typical analog sound, I think. It's good in my book. Some very percussive sounds there. In this case, we're modulating the pulse width of the oscillator 1, and from oscillator 2. And this sound, I don't know any other analog polysynth that can do this actually. Certainly not any vintage ones. Very nice, I think. We have some polymod sounds there. One major difference between this one and the older Property 5s is that these are very expressive. We have filter controlled by velocity, and we have filter control from after touch. So we can illustrate that by using the sort of first factory patch that comes on when you boot up your machine. Here we're using both after touch and velocity to control the filters. Very warm and very soft. Well, other things to mention, we have modern connectivity, we have USB MIDI, we have sort of classic MIDI, and we have a CV gate in and out for one voice, I guess, if we're controlling it. We have a very nice controllability here. All the knobs can be recorded. You have 200 user patches, storage. We have layer and split. Not with a button each, so to speak, but you can, by doing some combinations here, you can activate layer and split, which is of course more useful if you have more than 5 voices, but that's why we have either the option of buying a Propet 10, a 10 voice, or getting the expansion card for the Propet 5 rev4. And so those are some factors, I think, that makes the Propet 5 rev4 the best analog poly ever in my book. It has a very nice sound, I think, but I think for me, even more the basically aesthetics of it and how it affects me when I'm playing it. It is very subdued, it is very warm, very nice, friendly interface, which I don't feel I can get on many other polysynthesizers. That's it from me for today. And if you have any opinions on, which I think you might have, on my statements here today, then feel free to leave a friendly comment in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.